Hey everybody, welcome back to the Geek XP. My name is Kyle, Schnicket indeed.
I'm Marley.
And we are here to bring you your spoiler-free review of Logan.
Oh, it was so good.
It was really, really good, but we're going to just talk very briefly about it.
Yeah.
So, initially, right out of the gate, I love this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, same here. It's easily the best Wolverine movie we've ever had.
Not
a high bar.
Yeah, not a high bar for Wolverine movies, but it was really good. Like, objectively, like, a good movie.
Yeah.
And it was like, it really felt like...
Also, probably the best X-Men movie. X-Men Universe
movie,
yeah.
I would say so. Like, objectively,
Yeah.
like, the way it was constructed, it was just a damn good movie.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways felt like it was built with the heart and love of a fan film.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moments where I was like, this just looks like a cool fan film that I'd
Yeah.
see and be like, this would be a really great
Yeah,
Wolverine
like those
movie.
concept trailers that people put out, like
Yeah.
the Boba Fett trailer.
Or the really, like, gritty, realistic Power Rangers trailer.
Yeah,
or that
exactly.
Punisher thing with
Yeah.
the... So that's what it felt like. So, brief plot summary of this movie. We're in the future, and the future is grim. Logan is old and tired, embittered. Mutants are basically extinct. Long story short, Logan and Professor X seem to be the last mutants left.
Yeah.
And they are thrust upon with this new young mutant who has powers very similar to Logan, which, for comic book fans,
you would know
as X-23. And the movie is them trying to get her to a safe haven for where mutants can live peaceably and not be...
Basically get asylum.
So, it's a story about, in a lot of ways, it's a story about a tired, broken hero who doesn't get a happy ending for outcasts and rejects who are just trying to make their way through a world that either doesn't want them or wants to misuse them.
Yeah.
And a father who is not ready for fatherhood at all.
Which is an ongoing theme with Logan.
That's
in
true.
The comic, but he's always finding these young girls and just taking them in and being a dad, but not a great dad, but he still loves them.
A solidly less than adequate father.
Yeah.
But in X-Men, and I think it's important that they maintain this theme because we see a father figure relationship appear between X-23 and Logan, as well as a really cool father figure relationship developed between him and Professor X. And with X-Men being traditionally a story which is about family and finding family in unexpected places, especially for people who don't fit in.
Yeah.
Seeing that relationship, there's a scene where Wolverine is carrying Professor X up these stairs, and it pulled my heart in a very beautiful way.
There's always the kid that ends up having to take the care of the parent, and maybe they don't want to do it, but that is their parent, so they're going to do it anyway. And that's what I got from this movie a lot, which is really nice because one of my big problems with a lot of the X-Men movies is that lack of feeling of family.
Absolutely.
And that's, at the end of the day, that's what the X-Men are supposed to be. So it was nice to see a movie really embrace that.
Yeah.
At least an X-Men movie really embrace that.
No, I absolutely agree. And I think this took a nice deviation away from where the X-Men movies have been going with things like Days of Future Past, or especially Apocalypse, where it's these large-scale, epic, trying to be Avengers type of movies.
Yeah.
And this was gritty. It was personal. First of all, right out of the gate, not a big spoiler, this movie is violent as
They earned
fuck.
that R rating.
It was so violent. Professor X and Wolverine are cussing at each other the entire time. Like, fuck you! Fuck you! And, it's so violent right out of the gate. And it's good.
And it's earned violence. It's not just
is.
violence for the sake of violence. This is... They establish a universe that needs it.
Yeah, and after, Deadpool was really violent, but it was funny violent. This is the violence of what Wolverine fighting would look like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood and things going everywhere.
Yeah.
And it feels like, in all the other X-Men movies,
fighter.
He's messy, it's disgusting. He's also not very graceful anymore, so he doesn't just tool on everyone. He's slow.
Yeah.
He doesn't heal so quick anymore. And it was really cool to see this slower burn movie.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman delivered, I think, easily one of his best Wolverine performance.
Yeah, easily his best Wolverine
Far
performance.
much more dynamic. He had a lot more pain that I think was relatable.
Yeah.
It's hard to relate with someone who just, I've lived forever and I keep losing my girlfriends and everyone I love dies, as opposed to someone who's just old and is tired of losing.
Well, I think giving him X-23, who he was this dad who wasn't ready, I think immediately humanized him a lot.
Yeah.
Because that's not just a Wolverine problem. There's plenty of people in the world who go through stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, this movie was really great. It had excellent, intense fight scenes as well as poignant, emotional, dramatic scenes.
It wasn't scared to be quiet.
Oh, no.
Which I love, like, these moments of reflection.
Yeah, it took moments to be quiet, which contrasted well with the loud, bloody fight scenes. But the pacing of this movie is really good. It's very solid. You have intense fight scenes. You have slow burn scenes, as we just mentioned. It's very, very good. Sound design is solid. Yeah. All performances across the board. You know, some writing on some side characters or antagonists wasn't superb, but overall performances were solid.
Yeah.
And this was it was a really intense, emotional experience for an X-Men movie, for sure.
It definitely earned its Johnny Cash soundtrack.
But it seemed to be very timely in the way that this movie sort of is arriving.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for how kind of socially relevant it would be, and which is perfect because that's what the X-Men are supposed to be. Throughout time, they've represented different marginalized groups. When they first were created, they were kind of representative of the civil rights movement. Then that kind of shifted towards the LGBT/AIDS epidemic.
Yep.
And this movie has turned it into kind of how we look at people who maybe aren't like us.
Yeah, it was a movie that looked at a dark and grim future where people who are considered not traditionally normal and are not accepted are gotten rid of and hunted down and treated differently and not humanely.
Yeah.
And that future is dark. And it's a future where these insane corporations will do whatever they want because they can get away with it. And it was terrifying, and it was scary to see a character like Logan who just sort of had to live with that.
Yeah, and that, I think, goes back to it being such a smaller scale movie compared to stuff like Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, is that as crazy as a concept as a man with claws and stuff, it felt very real.
Yeah, it felt
like problems that we're kind of facing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what all the best superhero stories do, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think that's the best way to illustrate current problems, is to put some sci-fi on it, some fantasy into it.
So, out of 5, what would you give Logan?
I would say, as a movie, I would give Logan a solid 4. As a superhero movie, hard 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I think I'm going to go 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a really good movie.
Yeah, it was.
It ended really satisfyingly, and it was just a good experience. And I felt like there were moments where I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
And it was a very straightforward movie. Like, it knew what it was.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, like, laid itself out on the table, like, kind of like, your good Westerns,
Yeah.
too.
Well, it was very much in the style of an old Western.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed Logan. We're going to be giving you guys a spoiler-full review with a larger panel discussion.
Yes, Brandon will be on that.
Yeah, Brandon will be in
Carson.
that. Just giving you guys more in-depth personal opinions on how the movie played out and things we really liked, things we didn't. We were talking about things that you didn't really like that I didn't really mind, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys think when we get that video out there.
Let us know what you think right now down in the comments. Remember, this is a spoiler-free zone, so keep it, no spoilers in any of your comments.
Right.
Save those for the spoilers
Please
discussion.
be courteous, internet people. So, yeah, tell us what you guys thought down in the doobly-doo, and we'll be getting you guys a spoiler-full review right away.
Me and Carson are doing our Nintendo giveaway soon, so we will provide you with a link for that in the description as well. Feel free to enter that.
Great. So we really enjoyed Logan. We're looking forward to talking more about it. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Stay tuned to the Geek XP.